Hey everybody, and welcome back. So in today's video we are going to be setting up our August budget, getting it ready for the month. So we are recording it a little bit early. I haven't gotten our last paycheck, so I don't know all the exact numbers yet. I still have to make a small car payment on both cars to finish out that for our debt. But we're going to go ahead and set this up, and as soon as the numbers are all ready, I can add them in, and I'm going to do a complete reset of our sinking funds and get those a little bit better on where we need the money at from where it's currently sitting. So we're going to switch those up a little bit, and then I can fill in our sinking funds. I think I'm going to do a whole video on it. Let me know your thoughts down below, but let's go ahead and get started. So we are using all of my stickers from my Etsy shop. This is our August budget kit here. So we're gonna flip right on over and start setting this up. So August was a yellow theme for the Erin Condren planner. I am in a 7x9 monthly planner. So we're gonna go ahead and lay down our monthly view. For this sheet here, I definitely use this to track all of our expenses and keep track of when our bills come out of our account and are paid. So that way we don't forget any, or if something doesn't clear when it's supposed to, that I can call and make sure. That way we don't get a late charge or anything like that. So that's where this is. And we also do no spends on here. I like to track at least half of how many days there are. For no spends are days that we spend no money out of our cash envelopes, or I have any bills come out. So any days that we don't have either of those is a no spend for us. That is great news. I do definitely try to get all of our stuff done on Fridays for bills. Wednesdays I try to get all of our grocery shopping done for the week. That way it kind of works out. It just works out. So I do the shopping here and record and put the video up for the next day. So it just kind of plays it out by ear. So there's this page. So it's real simple on this here. Just setting this up, be ready to go. This next page back here behind it, I like to set up our debt. So for me, we make multiple payments on our cars. Like me and James both have cars, and we make half of the payment every 2 weeks. So we like to track those transactions. And for the one for James's car, I'm actually able to I am able to see how much exactly went towards principal and interest each and every time I make a payment. Now for mine, there are two different ones, and mine is a little bit different, which is a bit frustrating, but it only shows me like the one, which is super annoying. So I'm hoping once we get James's paid off or really low, I might be able to like refinance mine through the same company his is through right now. That way I can be able to track it a little bit better, because we've had it that way for a while. So I think we're going to try orange and see how it comes out this month. So we have 4 debts that we track. So we have the Highlander, which is the family car. Then we have James's car, the Camaro. And I think I just spelled that wrong. Don't come at me. I know I spelled it wrong. Student loans. And these are my student loans. No, I did not finish. I don't plan on going back right now. Maybe later down the road, but not right now. And then I have medical debt, and this has been accumulated over a few years with some since I turned 18. I've been adding medical debt, but it hopefully once we get some of them other debts taken care of, because that one there has no interest on it. I don't have to make any minimal payments, although if I do, it helps. I'm looking to get some extra income. That way I can maybe start paying a little bit extra towards it, which would be nice. But right now we don't make any payments to it, but I like to make sure I don't forget about it and keep track of it. Especially if we add anything to it. And in the month of June, we ended up I ended up at the ER twice, so I definitely added to it in the month of June. I'm waiting. I still never received the second statement. The first one did come in, but I never gotten the second statement. So I don't know how much that second ER visit was. So I don't know. Maybe it'll come in sometime soon. Who knows? But like I was saying, since that we pay multiple payments, we like to do a transaction log on here, so that way we can see exactly when things come out and how much come out of each one. So that is what this sheet looks like. So let's take, let's do a pink. Grab a ruler and draw in our lines. So I still don't have all of my beginning numbers for our debt. So as soon as I finish out July, I'll be able to get those numbers. And fill them in. All right, let's grab out our fan washies. I'm gonna use this pretty, we'll just keep this one all kind of more orangey for our debt. Okay, so there's that sheet ready to go. This one here, I don't use too much unless I want to set a goal for myself. So I don't use this one too often. Then the next sheet we use will be for our paycheck breakdown and our August budget kit here. So we're going to do our budget first so I can kind of explain it, and then do our paycheck breakdown. All right, so we're going to use this pretty one here. All right, lay this down. Could have went up a little bit, but it's fine. All right, so August budget. All right, so for the month of August, there are 4 Fridays that James will be paid on. We base our income, our bills, our whole budget on my husband's income. The little bit that I get from YouTube, Etsy, even a little bit from Herbalife, which is my club income mostly. It does not help. It helps, but it's not going to cover all of our bills and expenses. So we solely rely on his income. So with that being said, I'm going to show y'all where we put it all. All right. So for the month of August, the income types that we are expecting is James from his full-time job, myself, which is Herbalife, YouTube, and Etsy, and then other. So anything extra that comes in. Some months you get tax returns, some months we sell things, like a little extra there. That's where that comes from. So for James, we're budgeting about $750. We're going to times that by 4, so we're expecting about $3,000 from James's income. And then for me, I usually try to round about $300, and some months I don't meet that, so I try to keep it as close as possible to what I think I'm going to have come in. So, all right, lay down our total strip here. All right, so total income will be $3,300, and this here is what's going to help us fund our September bills and expenses. All right, moving on down. Actually, here we're going to use. I think we're going to use this one. Kind of separate it. Perfect. All right, so now I like to split my bills by fixed and variable. So what we're gonna have that's the same every single month, and then kind of what varies. So let's lay this down, and I'll go through our fixed side first. All right, so for fixed, first up we have the cars. Our budgeted amount that is going to be fully funded in July for is going to be $920. Our rent is $600. Allstate, which is our insurance, is $292, and that covers me and James with 3 vehicles on it. Then we have cell phones, which is $188. We have internet, which has finally stayed at the same amount at $66. The storage is $64. Student loans is at $60. And then we have pest control, which is $33. These here are fully funded from from July. So I know those amounts there will be paid and have that exact amount for our bills for August. Okay, so that totals $2,223 that we funded last month. Okay, hopefully you're staying with me. All right, next up we're gonna do our fixed side, not fixed, our variable side over here. All right, so for the variables that we have in our budget, first up is power. Power fluctuates depending on our usage in the air from our usage around the house. Water, the same thing. Now water was $80 and a penny last month, so I'm going to take $5 from the power and put it into the water. So we're going to do $195 for the power and then $85 for water. So, and that there is going to be fully funded in August. Okay, now groceries, depending on the last week of July, will depend on our total amount there. The same for gas. Spending for me and James. Miscellaneous. All depend on what the last paycheck comes in at and how much we are able to put towards each of those categories. We're hoping for how much we budgeted in our paycheck breakdown for July, but sometimes it may be a little less, and that's fine. All right, and then next up, we like to check at the end of the month and at the beginning of the month for sinking funds, savings, debt. We put money into our cushion, which is there in case we need to swipe a card and to have money on, just in case we don't have the cash on us. And then unbudgeted, so anything that we have to pull from our savings that is not planned comes from unbudgeted. Miscellaneous, we have that category as well, just so that way if we are out and about and see something like, oh, we needed this for the house, we can pull it from miscellaneous. We have to run and get a tire fixed, if it's like just a plug or something that's not too expensive, we can pull it from miscellaneous. Just anything like that comes from miscellaneous. Now if it's a big item that we have to pull from savings, it comes from unbudgeted. So that's how I kind of look at miscellaneous and sinking funds and debt and cushion, all those things right there. It's just a mindset thing on how you look at it, and that's just how we look at it, or I look at it, because I do our budget. So hopefully that helps anybody that needs to know how I look at it. All right, so I can't put the total amount here just because I have to fill in the rest of those numbers up top, but we are going to go ahead and draw in the lines. All right, so there is our August budget. So this is the income we're expecting to come in to help fund our September bills and expenses. These numbers here were funded in July to pay all of the August expenses that we have, okay? All right, so now we're gonna go over and do our paycheck breakdown over here. This here is a sheet that we like to use to track all of our All right, this sheet here we use to do our paycheck breakdown. So in the month of August, there are 4 weeks that James will be paid. So we track it based off of his. If he happens to change jobs, change positions, his income amount changes, or not changes, like it goes from weekly to bi-weekly or something, it will definitely change. We'll just adjust as needed. But we will get 4, so I'm using the one that has options 1 through 4 for your paycheck breakdown. This here just kind of gives me a clear overview of what we are expecting for the month. Uh-oh. I must have got the oopsie again. I had to go in and fix some of the numbers on a few sheets. Okay, so as we had in our budget, we have 3 sources of income. We have James's, myself, and then other, and then the same amount budgeted. So $3,000 for James, $300 for me, and nothing from other. All right. Let's do green here. Okay, so on this sheet here, I track all of our expenses and I will put them in from the highest to the lowest amount as close as possible. So let's go ahead and get started. So our highest expense that we have will be the cars because we put both of them together. So for the cars, it's $920. And then we have our rent is $600. Groceries for this month, with what we have allowed as the minimum amount, which is the $3,300, we are only able to put $500 towards our groceries. And then next up is gas. Now this one's a little out of order, but we're hoping to add more than this. It's $277. Our utilities, which is power and water, is $300. Allstate, which is insurance, $292. AT&T covers the phone and internet at $254. The storage, which is $64. Student loans, which is $60. And then pest control, which is $33. All right, and then we have miscellaneous, spending, sinking funds, savings, debt, and cushion. Why do I feel like I'm missing one? Let's see. 1, 2, 3. One, two, Okay, maybe I'm not. Just feels like I am. All right, we're gonna use pink. Yeah. All the way down there. And just because I do feel like I'm missing one, we are definitely gonna lay this as low as possible. Just in case. Okay. So there's that. So when I look at this, this number here, this total amount has to add up to the 3,300, which it does, which is why we were only able to put $277 towards the gas and only $500 towards groceries, just because that's all we have to work with right now. But all of the other bills and expenses are definitely covered for what we need it to be. These down here, if there's extra throughout the month, they will be added to it. Now, for our knowing how much we put towards each week, I take the budget amount here and divide it by how many times we get paid. So 920, and I'll divide it by 4 paychecks, and that'll be about how much I put in. Some of them are a little off just because they're not like even numbers or rounded off numbers like the 500, 600. So they come out a little bit different, and I just work with it and get it either rounded up or rounded down, and then that last week just kind of adjust for it then. So that's just how I do this. So let me draw in the lines. All right, so there's our paycheck breakdown ready to go. All right, I'm saying all right a lot. We're gonna flip on over again. We're gonna set up the weekly check-in and transaction log for that. We're gonna be using this one. I like to alternate between the 2 washies that I get, so we're gonna use this one. There's that. So on this side here, we do the transaction log. Perfect. Okay. And then let's bring some color to the bottom with this one. Now I definitely don't use, well, I can't say that because some months I do use the whole sheet, some months I don't, so it just depends, but we'll just go ahead and have it fully ready. Okay, so there's the transaction log, and then we have our weekly check-in over here. Okay, so I'm gonna do the weekly check-in in a little bit because this one's really messed up, and I gotta print and cut another one for myself. So I'll do that one off camera, but this will be the weekly check-in sheet here. Let's flip over one more time, and we're gonna set up our sinking funds and transaction logs, and this is only going to be setting them up. I will fill in those off camera because I'm going to do a whole video. So here's these. Alright, so sinking funds. I'm not even going to put in the categories because I might change like the names of the categories and switch it up. So I'm not sure. We'll see. Okay, we'll use the orange on this side. Put the transaction log down. Perfect. We're gonna do pink right down here. Okay. And we can draw in the lines on this side. I definitely usually, well, we'll have Alexis's birthday and school's starting, so I'm not even gonna say nothing on this side either on transactions that are gonna come from sinking funds. All right. So that is all we can do today. We have set up, actually I can go ahead, I can draw in the lines at least. No, I'm gonna wait and just in case I want to move the total line to a different spot. Okay. So we have everything set up now for the month of August. We have our monthly view spread set up, ready to go. Our debt tracker is set up, our paycheck breakdown and budget. I need to get the weekly kit printed and laid it down, transaction logs, sinking funds, and transactions logs. Stay tuned. I am going to do a fun video for changing out like where my sinking funds are sitting at right now. I'm going to do a whole video on where I'm moving them to and then fill this in the process of doing that. So that's going to be fun. That's going to be an extra video for this week. But that is all we have for this video. I really hope that y'all enjoyed our budget with me for the month of August. Hopefully everything was a little clear. Y'all were able to follow along. If you didn't and have comments or questions, leave them down below and I'll try to respond to them and answer them either in the comments or in another video. That way, hopefully it helps you understand how I look at things on our budget. But I really hope that y'all did enjoy. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you like these videos. Don't forget to push the post notification bell and I will catch y'all in my next video. Bye bye now.